Hi, welcome to Sit and Listen number 22. How to be happy in marriage. I think marriage is one of the most important decisions you'll make, and yet it is left to luck, to logic, and to chance. There's no rigorous planning or conditions under which, why, when, or who we should get married. We simply pick up a guy or a girl and we get married. We spend more time planning on getting a dog, buying a tampon, a latte, or a laptop than buying ourselves a relationship. And of course, I don't mean buying. Let's not be silly. But like the computer and the latte that we buy, we own these things no more than we own our relationships. Your relationship is not magical, it's not down to luck, and it's not a feeling that you can act on. Be cautious of your feelings. If you read the classics, you'll realize that feelings possess us. We don't fall in love or get angry, but rather we are possessed by the spirit of Eros, the god of love, and by Ares, the god of rage and war. The significance of the distinction is that it speaks more true of what happens to us. How many times have you gotten angry and done or said something you regretted? These outcomes are more in line with a spirit or a demon taking over your body and making you act in the form and manner that you will later regret. See, you shouldn't trust your feelings. Your feelings change, they're not permanent. What you wanted and what you felt 5 years ago is not what you want today. And the same is true of those things you want today, you won't want them tomorrow. So your feelings are not a good guide for choosing your mate. This is true whether you're a girl or a boy. The problem is that it's hard to distinguish feelings from truth. This is because feelings are easily triggered by actions. For example, it's really easy to feel friendly towards a person who's always smiling and saying hello. And this is a problem with many women, especially those who come from nice homes. A guy says hi and they think he's a nice guy. Well, he's not, or more accurately, you don't know enough to say that he is or is not a nice guy. You actually know nothing about him. The same thing is true for guys. A woman returns his hello and he thinks that she likes him. More insidious is in cases of older men and younger women. Men should open their eyes. The reality is that when it comes to finding love at an old age, especially if the man has money, he's most likely the one who will become a victim. This counters the overwhelming propaganda and politicized ideology of feminism, which makes men the quintessential predator. Women can be predators too. This ideology is spinned and used by power hungry individuals into lies that do nothing but vitiate marriage and make men more vulnerable. This lie and misconception obfuscates men's ability to see reality for what it really is. Being a predator also carries the sense that you're on the top of the food chain, so to speak. And although this is a negative quality, men may want to be identified as such. This is the same behavior you find in inner city neighborhoods where kids and teenagers want to be identified as thugs. Being a thug as well as a predator implies strength and cunning. No one wants to be the rabbit or defenseless. Men, be aware. Open up your eyes. Don't be a fool. Just because you're bigger and have more muscles than women doesn't mean that you can't become a victim to women. Anybody can be a victim and anybody can be a predator. Just think bacteria and viruses are infinitesimally smaller than human beings, and they kill us very easily every day. So open your eyes. We women can hurt you as much as you can hurt us. Let me tell you, there's some serious women lionesses out there that can take any man lion out. So feminism is not good for women. It's not good for men. It's just bad for everyone. Sorry for the segue. Okay, my point is that feelings alone are not reliable and therefore should not be a measurement to gauge your relationship. When you choose a guy to marry, you should have conditions for him to meet. A cute smile, being funny, or being a feminist is not enough for you to choose a mate. By the way, a guy can't be a feminist. That's impossible. If he is, he's either not a man or he's a liar. A feminist guy is like Jews for Jesus. There's no such thing. Male feminism is an oxymoron, like small big fish. You're either small or you're either big, but you can't be both. And if you're a guy, please, please do not choose a woman who calls herself a feminist. You'll be nothing but a bitch. You'll be divorced within 15 to 20 years. This is being way too kind. 10 years is more like it. This is just about the amount of time you'll be able to take her. You ought to know that being a feminist is not a criteria for happiness. It is, however, a requirement for conflict and war. You should make sure that your partner is free from ideology. There is a way of being in society that doesn't necessitate identifying with groups or individuals that are simply interested in breaking down social hierarchies and social systems. The guy you choose should be slightly older than you. You should know this by now. Women simply mature faster than men, and this inequality follows men throughout their life. He should be smarter than you. You don't want a dummy. Now, you may have had a negative reaction when I said that the guy should be smarter than you, but why not? Why would you want a dummy helping you? A dummy being your partner, and a dummy raising your kids? Let me ask you something. If you were a CEO, wouldn't you want to employ individuals that are smarter than you? Wouldn't you? It would be stupid if your only criteria to hire someone were that he or she be dumber than you. So yeah, pick someone who's smarter than you. Another condition is that he mustn't drink. By the way, drinking is a good way to get yourself killed. Most women are killed by men who drank before they committed the murder. Drinking is very harmful. It clouds your judgment and eventually becomes the only way that you and your partner can relax. And when this happens, you're both done. Your partner should come from a nice family. You might say, oh, the fact that his family's bad is not his fault. That's so unfair. Well, of course it's unfair. Life is unfair, but you're not here to fix people's problems. You don't have to feel sorry or proud because he has surpassed his shortcomings in life. He's still damaged goods, and you ought to stay away from these men. Don't forget that part of our knowledge about the world comes from our parents. So if his parents are screwed up, he's screwed up. And it doesn't matter how good or well he is doing in life, because when stress hits his life, both of your lives, he will act the way his dysfunctional parents taught him. So yeah, be smart and stay away. Don't date men who are proud. They're a ticking time bomb. At the bottom of all mental breakdown, depression, and psychosis lies resentfulness and pride. I'm talking about men who think they're always right. Remember when you were in fourth or fifth grade? A teacher would walk into the class and say, you all start with 100. Well, with this type of man, you start with a 0, and guess what? You'll never make 100 in his class. He will correct you all the time, and his way is always the right way. He will always doubt you, and when life gets too stressful, it will be your fault, and he might make you pay for it, like shoot you or kill you. A resentful man is harder to spot, especially if you both take to drinking whenever you have free time or hanging out with friends in your spare time. You'll have problems detecting his vice because you're always either busy or drunk. I would suggest that you stop the distractions and take time to get to know him. Stop drinking, stop hanging out, and simply sit across from one another and talk. Just talk. But remember, you shouldn't date a man or a woman who drinks. Drinking is the worst drug one can become addicted to. Why? Because at some stages of drinking, the person acts normal, but his mind is very much dysfunctional. You think you're speaking to a person, but you're not. You're not really speaking to your girlfriend or boyfriend. They have been possessed by the demon of sloth and gluttony. Leave them. Your relationship should not revolve around sex. If you're young, please don't have sex. You're just training mattress for the next girl. Don't be stupid. However, sex is a huge equalizer between men and women. It isn't your brains or your feminism, it's your sex. Your intelligence is what will keep you guys running smooth, but your sex is what glues you both together. Without sex, you guys will move in all different directions. It is sex that will keep you moving in sync. If you think differently, it's at your own peril. Education is another standard you should observe when choosing your partner. You both should have a college education, jobs, and careers. Sit down and write down the qualities that are good in a human being. Make a list. Think clearly and honestly. Don't put down silly qualities like cute and hot. Grow up. And why should you listen to me? Because it'll make you feel better.